Hi guys, this is Ben from Evolve Sport and Nutrition, and
I'm Carrie. Nice to see you again.
And we're doing here to do part 2 of our review on the ketogenic diet for sport. So stay tuned and strap yourselves in and get comfortable.
So let's first talk about strength, power, weightlifting, those sorts of activities. Ben, what are your thoughts on that?
So there are a ton of issues, and it comes down to understanding the bioenergetics about the body. But basically, without going into that, because let's spare you the detail, there are short-term and long-term consequences. The short-term would be decrease in strength, decrease in burst speeds. So if you're doing plyometric training, not going to be able to do that very well. Poor cognitive ability. I mean, weightlifting takes a lot of thinking sometimes. Aerobic performance is sacrificed too. But long-term, we have bone health, as well as hormone regulation. That gets thrown off like crazy, and that's really, really important, right?
And things people forget to think about. So why are low-carb diets like the ketogenic diet not helpful for building muscle? Well, you need those carbohydrates to help unlock the cells to be able to take in amino acids to build that protein in your recovery phase. And it also prevents muscle breakdown during the activity. I mean, you're making little tears in your muscle when you're exercising, but that's a stress you need to build protein.
That's exactly it. And it's one of those things too where a lot of people promoting the ketogenic diet right now, they don't know what they're talking about. And there's one doctor in particular in Toronto, you don't know what you're talking about, man. He's talking about insulin is the cause of obesity, which is the insulin model of obesity that's been disproven for over 50 years. It's too simplistic, and there's tons of reviews. But in reality, think about what happens at the cellular level. So insulin is it's an anabolic hormone. You're building off of it. Now, in a lot of cases, when you eat too much carbohydrates at a meal, it's anabolic in the sense where you're building fat. But in terms of the workouts, depending on the timing and the sports nutrition, that's when you talk to sports dietitians, by the way.
Yeah.
It's got to really
get those muscle stores building.
That's right. It's got a big role in how you can perform, how you can build, and everything like that.
So the research also shows with a ton of athletes that have been put on these low carbohydrate diets, their ratings of perceived exertion, so how hard they think they're working, is spiked for what used to be no problem for them before. And similarly, their heart rates are pumping faster at a given work rate, and these are things we don't want.
Yeah, we don't want this. In order to be a better athlete, you have to become more efficient, which means your resting heart rate goes down, not up. Like, this is how we measure athletic fitness and everything like that. These are physiological measures. So if your blood pressure, your heart rate, everything is climbing during a workout, these are bad things. It's not the sign of a really intense workout. It's a sign of an underfed athlete.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in to part 2 of the ketogenic diet in power and weightlifting sports.
That's right. Next time in part 3, we're going to start talking about the ketogenic diet for endurance-based activities. So like triathlons, ultramarathons, marathons.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty exciting stuff. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.